And so that's a condition. If Iran hadn't done what it did yesterday with missiles, that would leave a huge red flag or a huge question mark on their loyalty actually to the Palestinian resistance. And so I said, like, why would I say something like that or put conditions like that if I'm just a blind loyalist or propagandist for Iran? I'm consistent, alhamdulillah. I'm consistent and I'm principled. I say, like, if they do it, then alhamdulillah, they are reestablishing deterrence. If they don't do it, then this is a big problem. We have to really start being skeptical. Like, what's going on here? What's going on? What's all this big talk with no action? You talk the talk, but you don't walk the walk. And that's endangering the Muslim world. So they have there's a big condition put on them or a big question mark put on them. And then if they respond, which they did, then they deserve to be praised for that.
Okay, so it's saying they did. So the Islamic Republic in Iran, they managed to show their deterrent capability, which is actually the opposite. Let me actually just spoil everything for you. The Islamic Republic of Iran, in the two responses that they had so far against Israel, they tried to demonstrate their deterrent capability, but because they show their hand, because they show how pathetically weak their missiles are, it backfired. But not only it exposed how how weak their missiles are, how low their technology is, and now Israel is more confident when it comes to taking actions against the Islamic Republic and its proxies, because it's seeing that the Islamic government actually doesn't have the ability to inflict the damage that it claimed that it was able to before. So it actually had the opposite effect. But I will show you this. I will show you all of this. But let's continue.
Deserve to be, we should be impressed by that. We should celebrate. We should recognize the
Oh yeah,
significance.
actually, let me read some of the comments. By the way, thank you, Gene, for highlighting people's comments and starring some of them for me to read. So this person, Luffy, is saying, running to vote, something maybe one day Islamic countries will do. LOL. Okay, yeah, I mean a real version of it, because they do have voting in the Islamic Republic of Iran, but the votings are fake. They don't actually have any influence. The cat lady was saying, wait, Armin, it's now your. Oh, it's not Yom Kippur. Oh yeah, just started. Okay, let's continue.
Of that, we should be reassured. Like, that's what consistency is. But if you're like one of these useful idiots for Israel, or you're a medkhali, and you're constantly you're calling out Iran, and you're saying Iran does nothing, Iran just lets Ismail Haniyeh be assassinated, Islam is.
Remember who he's calling out. He's calling out Muslims who are criticizing Iran. He says Iran. I would say the Islamic Republic. He's calling them madkhalis. This is a huge accusation. This is a huge accusation. Basically, bootlicking, Saudi-funded Zionist version of Muslims. So these people consider Saudis to be, completely in line with what the Zionist regime wants. They call it the Zionist regime, right? They call Israel the Zionist regime, right? So they consider these Muslims who are traitors, who spread a version of Islam that doesn't want you to rock the boat or make any, to become politically inactive, uh, or people who are basically spreading narratives by the Zionists or the Saudis that is in line with what the Western powers want. Okay, so if you call a Muslim madkhali, coming from Daniel Haqiqatjou, that's a huge accusation. So he's calling the Muslims who are criticizing the Islamic Republic for why they are not responding madkhali. So that's a huge accusation to those Muslims. So keep this in mind.
That will work. And so that's a condition. If Iran hadn't done what it did yesterday with missiles, that would leave a huge red flag or a huge question mark on their loyalty actually to the Palestinian resistance. And so I said, like, why would I say something like that or put conditions like that if I'm just a blind loyalist or propagandist for Iran? I'm consistent, alhamdulillah. I'm consistent and I'm principled. I say, like, if they do it, then alhamdulillah, they are reestablishing deterrence. If they don't do it, then this is a big problem. We have to really start being skeptical. Like, what's going on here? What's going on? What's all this big talk with no action? You talk the talk, but you don't walk the walk. And that's endangering the Muslim world. So they have big, there's a big condition put on them or a big question mark put on them. And then if they respond, which they did, then they deserve to be praised for that. They deserve to be, we should be impressed by that. We should celebrate. We should recognize the significance of that. We should be reassured. Like, that's what consistency is. But if you're like one of these useful idiots for Israel, or you're a medkhali, and you're constantly you're calling out Iran, and you're saying Iran does nothing, Iran just lets Ismail Haniyeh be assassinated, Iran is just a paper tiger, Iran is just sitting there doing nothing for the sake of Palestine, they're so weak, like, you're whining, you're like one of these people, like nothing ever happens type of people. Then when Iran actually does something, if you are an honest person and you're a consistent person, you should acknowledge that, okay, well, they did something. They did something, and I have to reevaluate, or I take back, my skepticism, or they.
Okay, so take back their skepticism. So before and after. So the Islamic Republic had two series of attacks on Israel. The most recent one was on October 1st. So remember, if you were criticizing the Islamic Republic before and you continued, then you're one of these useful idiots for Israel, and you're a madkhali. Well, then Haraju, let me introduce you to your friend Muhammad Hijab before and after. Okay, before and after. So these, I will show you a couple of tweets before the attacks and then one tweet after the attack. Okay, so this is on September 28th. Muhammad Hijab posted it. And by the way, thank you so much to Susanna for showing me these. Susanna is like so aware of what's happening in the Islamic world on social media. So she's my go-to for these things, right? So Mohammed Hijab posted on September 28th, if it is true that Nasrallah has been killed and Iran doesn't respond, then we can all rest assured that Iran would never respond to any aggression by Israel unless Israel attacks them directly, which makes them no different from all the secular Arab regimes backed by USA. Ouch. Ooh. That was pretty harsh. Well, but that was before the attack. That was before the October 1st attack. Okay. This is also before, same day, September 28th. Khamenei was saying, Khamenei posted something, and Muhammad Hijab responded to him. We don't need any more speeches. So Imam Khamenei, the leader of the Islamic Revolution, has issued a message about the recent events in Lebanon. The full text of his message will soon be published. So Muhammad Hijab responded to him by saying, we don't need any more speeches. Okay. That was before the attack. Okay. On September 29, Muhammad Hijab posted, sorry to say, but if Hezbollah doesn't respond forcefully to Israel in the upcoming period, and if the death of Nasrallah is genuine and not staged as a strategy of war, it would be the greatest defeat of an Arab army since the 1967 war. These are huge admissions by Muhammad Hijab. I like it. But again, this was also before the attack, right? But remember, Daniel Hagaju said that if you saw the attack by the Islamic Republic and if you still continue to be skeptical and criticize Iran, as he says it, then you're a madkhali or a useful idiot for the Zionists, okay? Oh, that's a huge accusation. Well, let's go to this tweet after, okay? On October 2 by Muhammad Hijab in response to the attacks that we just saw. Muhammad Hijab posting, how low have we set the bar? Oh no, Daniel, This is their fellow Muslim speaking. Okay, this guy is even more famous than you are. Okay, so oh no, this is not going well. How low have we set the bar when the impotence and weakness of all Sunni Muslim states have left us so desperate that a mere fireworks display by a Shia state, oh no, the humiliation, by a Shia state can spark a false sense of joy. I have never, I have never agreed with Muhammad Hijab this much. You know what? I'm gonna go like this one. This is good. This is fantastic. This is beautiful. Again, I have, oh my god, I'm gonna print this tweet and I'm gonna frame it. I'm gonna buy a golden frame. I'm gonna hang it right in front of me so I could enjoy this every day. Again, one more time. Look at the humiliation, guys. Look at the weakness. Look at, yes, heavy issue, like the impotence of all Sunni Muslim states. Exactly, because these people don't like their regimes, right? Again, one more time. Read this. I'm gonna read this one more time. I just enjoy every single part of this tweet. Again, thank you, Susanna, for finding us this. Okay, how low? Oh, this makes me so happy. Have we set the bar when the impotence and weakness of all Sunni Muslim states have left us so desperate that a mere fireworks, Daniel Hajju, is Muhammad Hijab. The thing that you're celebrating, Muhammad Hijab is calling it mere fireworks. A mere fireworks display by a Shia state can spark a false sense of joy. Do I need to say any more? Anyways, back to Daniel. I mean, guys, this is so easy. This is so easy. Oh my god, humiliating these idiots is so easy. It's so easy.
Reassured me, like, show some kind of change in the script.
Oh, Muhammad Hijab, show some kind of change. Didn't you see the powerful attack by the Islamic Republic? You have to change your narrative. Why are you calling it mere fireworks?
That will work. And
by the way, guys, I will show you why Muhammad Hijab is correct to call it mere fireworks. I will show you that. So
that's a condition. If Iran hadn't done what it did yesterday with missiles, that would leave a huge red flag or a huge question mark on their loyalty actually to the Palestinian resistance. And so I said, like, why would I say something like that or put conditions like that if I'm just a blind loyalist or propagandist for Iran? I'm consistent, alhamdulillah. I'm consistent and I'm principled. I say, like, if they do it, then alhamdulillah, they are reestablishing deterrence. If they don't do it, then this is a big problem. We have to really start being skeptical. Like, what's going on here? What's going on? What's all this big talk with no action? You talk the talk, but you don't walk the walk. And that's endangering the Muslim world. So they have there's a big condition put on them or a big question mark put on them. And then if they respond, which they did, then they deserve to be praised for that. They deserve to be, we should be impressed by that. We should celebrate. We should recognize the significance of that.
The reason why he has to do that is because they're humiliated, guys. This is the continuation of the humiliation that the fact that Ataturk and Israel and the superiority of the liberal world is bringing them so much sense of humiliation that they have to create. So Muslims are now living, many Muslims around the world are living in two fantasy worlds. So the fantasy world that they created for themselves, which Muhammad and Allah's revelation and Quran being Allah's revelation and prophets and all that nonsense, that's the first that they made that bubble. But there was for many years there was another thing. They had at least the reality of the world was that the Islamic Empire, the Arab Empire, was big, it was strong, and eventually the Ottoman Empire was big and strong. But now, after Ataturk took down the last caliph, and after Israel defeating all the Arab countries multiple times, And after the world order continuing to grow and becoming more economically and technologically and scientifically advanced, they were so humiliated that they had to create a second bubble of fantasy where they are strong, where they are actually living their own la la land, where they can pretend that they are strong, and not this pathetically weak. And now Israel, after the 1948 and 1967, it was very, very humiliating to show that this one tiny country, how is basically resisting and defeating all these united Arab or Muslim countries together. And now this is a continuation of that. The fact that all the Islamic world is either doing nothing against Israel or actually getting close to Israel as an ally has made these people rely on the only country that has a government that is pushing back against Israel, even though they're Sunni and that government is Shia. They are so desperate that now they are trying to act like, oh, all the we actually don't have any problem with this Shia regime, because they have nobody else. So they now, even Sunnis have to pretend that the Shia government in Iran is powerful and strong, because they have no other way to pretend that they're strong. But it's not working, because the Islamic Republic is pathetic. The only strength that the Islamic Republic has is against its own people. It actually doesn't have any other significant power to demonstrate. And I will show you why the Islamic Republic actually has, even though it's pathetically weak, it has some ways to show deterrence capabilities, specifically by closing out the Hormuz, Tangel Hormuz. I don't know. Yeah, the Hormuz Canal, and also by targeting Saudi Arabian oil. That's the only deterrent capability they have. But when it comes to actually making a significant attack against Israel, so far they have been showing themselves to be pathetically weak.